You got to make a few players.
Yo,
You know what
yo,
I'm saying?
yo.
Yo,
Are we
yo.
ready?
We on? We
Yo,
on?
We on.
what up? What up,
What up?
What's
though?
going on? What's going on?
What up,
Football
though?
time, baby.
It's
It's
football
about
time.
time.
It's football time. We back on the
Whew.
stream. We starting
Still
week
crazy.
one down to the wire. Here with Lee. We got special guest Dejan on today.
Hey,
How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling?
Excited for football, man. Ready to get this going.
I'm good. It's football season. Nobody can steal my joy. It's football. I'm good. Like, I'm simple. I'm ready. I'm ready for life.
I mean,
What's
all
up?
right. Well, I mean, let's hop into it with that first topic. We got the game tonight. We got Ravens, Chiefs. Who y'all got?
I think the
What?
Chiefs are favored, but I'm taking the Ravens. I got the Ravens. I think they get their revenge from the playoffs last year. I think it was a tough game last year. I think it was 17-10. Like no one expected that from those two offensive juggernauts. But good luck stopping Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. I think it's going to be a monster duo this year. I think Ravens take the game today.
Yeah, I don't know. Like for me, I kind of learned my lesson. I'm done betting against Travis Kelsey and Mahomes. One thing that I've come to learn is that if they both healthy, you cannot scratch them off the board. Never. And I don't know why. Everybody know where the ball going, but they still make it happen. I can't. I gotta go Chiefs and then tonight.
Oh, I don't know. It's
Who
tough.
you got? Tiebreaker.
Yeah, I think Chiefs, man. I think Chiefs. I know like, Andy Reid gonna come out. He already got the first 20 plays drawn up. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna come out, they're gonna be good, they're gonna make some big plays. Lamar Jackson been starting slow the last few years too. And I just don't think they got a lot of weapons unless they keep it close. So I don't know. I think it'll be a low scoring game and it'll be close, but I think the Chiefs ultimately win it.
Also, another thing that I want to add about Lamar too is like I've noticed not only does he start slow, sometimes it's just like he be trying to do a lot. There's
Yeah.
always in the beginning of the season you notice where it's like you're gonna see, and I guarantee you're gonna see it tonight where you're gonna see him just scrambling, like he just gonna be running and he gonna throw it down the field and it's gonna be 50-50. Trust me, like that's like he kind of getting in positions, and I used to feel like it was because he's playing for the contract. Now he got the contract, but now it's like, okay, you got the bread, so you need
Yeah.
to really, really show it.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah, I don't know.
ultimately, I think you're gonna make the
I think
mistake.
it's going to be a totally different game than the playoff game last year. Because, like you said, I think Lamar was trying to do too much. Like if you look
Mhm.
at the actual like the carries, how they split the carries, Lamar had 8 carries, Edwards had 3, and Justice Hill had 3. So like they weren't even trying anything else. It was all Lamar. And credit to the Ravens defense, they did hold the Chiefs to 17 points in that game. Like
Mhm.
to hold them to 17 points and still lose, like I don't know. I think the Ravens are gonna learn from that. I mentioned the carries, but they didn't have Derrick Henry last year, so I
Mhm.
think they're gonna try to feed Derrick Henry, take a little bit off of Lamar Jackson. Dobbins was good, Edwards was good, but none of them are even close to Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry's getting up there in age. He's got like probably a million carries on him from high school to now, but
You got some city
until he
miles.
until he shows the first sign of like slowing down. You talked about not betting against Mahomes and Kelsey. Yeah, I know that the running back wall is there for running backs, but until Derrick Henry shows me he's slowing down, I still got to go with him.
Yeah, man, I think Ravens. It'll be interesting, right? It'll be interesting to see how effective they are. I could see them running the ball like 40 times, like
Mhm.
because I think they didn't really add anything like in terms of wide receivers. You got Zay Flowers, but he's kind of undersized. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw like a heavy option, triple options. Like you got some reverses with like Zay Flowers and stuff like that. Like I think they're going to be real short. They're going to have two tight ends in with like Likely and Andrews. Like I think that's going to be their game. But if the Chiefs go up early and they got to come back, it's like
Yeah,
it's going to be tough for them. And I don't know. I don't see them hold. I mean, I could see them holding them to 17, but I just don't know. I don't know how that's going to work unless they're just going to overpower people with that line.
Yeah, I
yeah,
would have to
they're gonna have
see.
to.
I would definitely have to see like some type of maturity in Zay Flowers. Like I had him in my fantasy last year, right? So I watched him all season, and he had great moments, and then he just had some moments where it was like, "What are you doing?" You know what I mean? So honestly, that's one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing tonight is how much has he matured? Because remember, if he make that, if he don't get that penalty, I think it was either a penalty or he dropped the catch. It was one or the other. No, he caught it and he scored, but they called a penalty on him because he did something. But it was like a bonehead play. It was like, bro, like what are you doing? But now that he's been in the league for a little while, I'm definitely looking to see some maturity out of him. Also, Andrews coming off of an injury. Yeah, they got Likely, but Andrews is the number one option. So we still got to see like how he going to be because he didn't play like at the tail end of last year. So you know, and Worthy from the Chiefs, he about to go off.
Yeah,
UT,
that's
like UT, like trust me, it's and the thing about the Ravens, which I love, is they primarily play man on defense,
Yeah.
like the whole game.
yeah.
And when
They
you got
can't
a
do
guy
that.
like
They can't do that
they
versus
can't do that, they cannot do
uh,
that. You got
you
Travis
you
Kelce,
you
Worthy,
they got
White.
Hollywood Brown too. That's a sneaky
They got
pickup. They got
Brown, they
Hollywood
got
Brown.
I think
Brown.
I
Yeah.
think Brown is
They
out
about to be
tonight though.
flying.
Oh, is he? Is
Brown
Hollywood
is
Oh,
out?
out
okay,
tonight.
okay,
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah,
okay,
you're
okay.
Yeah,
right.
but
Like
White,
they can't play man.
White
Like
is
they
playing.
especially
No, they
they
can't
can't
play
play man.
man.
And they
That's their bread and butter.
And
They
and,
can't do
and
that.
the biggest loss for the Ravens, Patrick Queen. Didn't they lose Patrick
And they
Queen?
don't got him.
yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
don't
yeah.
got
That's
Queen.
true. That's
And they don't have
true.
Queen. And they don't
So
Yeah.
I
have
don't think
Queen.
that. Yeah,
Who's their corners
they still got Humphrey.
Yeah,
besides Humphrey?
they still got Humphreys. They got the young guy, safety though. What's his name? I forget. But
Kyle Hamilton.
yeah, Kyle Hamilton. Yeah. So they got some
Damn.
players.
Yeah, their
I don't know.
secondary. I don't think they really lost anyone in the secondary, but
Yeah.
It's definitely
yeah,
going to be a fire game. I will
Oh yeah.
say. I think we're about to see two Hall of Fame quarterbacks go at it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm primarily happy about
So
that.
do you think this is a like AFC championship preview? Because Chiefs going for the three-peat. Lamar Jackson's never been there. He's always been knocking on the door. But do you think this is a preview for the AFC championship?
ooh, I think so. I mean, there's really no one else in the AFC that like took a step forward. You could say the Texans took a step forward, but I think they're still too young. I don't think Stroud. I think Stroud maybe like 2 years away from like
2 years
pushing
away.
Mahomes and
Okay.
Lamar. I think he's still like a couple years away. But the Bills got worse. I don't really like the Dolphins still. Who else is there? I'm forgetting someone.
You
Maybe the
forgetting the
Jets,
Jets?
but
You forgetting the
maybe the Jets.
Jets? Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
Jets.
yeah. The
But
Jets about to
like
pull up.
the between the Chiefs and the Ravens, it's like it's boring to say because they were there last year, but like I really don't see anyone on paper right now. There's always those surprise teams, but on paper right now, I don't see anyone topping those guys.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the Texans is going to make a move. Like I think they're going to make a real move. They picked up Diggs. They got Joe Mixon coming out the backfield now, where they was really hurting because Pierce was booty,
Yeah,
who they ended up drafting first round. But and then they had a Singletary, but obviously Singletary's on the Giants now.
yeah,
But they got way better in that position. They added Diggs to their lineup. Tank Dell is coming back, right? They got Nico Collins. They have a real and the thing about Stroud is like he I'm not. I agree with you. I'm not ready to put him on the same tier as Mahomes. But let me tell you something. He right there.
He's right
Like, and he
there.
confident.
He's right there.
He right there. Listen, don't forget when they played the Ravens, they was only down by like 3 going into the
yeah.
half.
They were
It was
in
like
it.
10. Yeah, it was like 10-7 going into the half. But to your point, I think with their immaturity of being in that space, it's a different ball game. But this year, I think they added some seniority to the team. They got some real good hitters on the team. Even on defense, they picked up a lot of good
Yeah.
people.
That's
Safety.
that's
They
my
got the
one
best
concern
corner in the
though.
league right now. They got the best corner in the league. They saying right
Who?
now. Stingley from
Yeah,
Derek
LSU.
Stingley?
Stingley.
No,
Yeah, they're saying
he's not
he like
sauce. He's
one of
not
the
he's
top.
not sauce. But
Yeah, nah. He not sauce, but
that's the question mark though. You mentioned the defense. That's the question mark. We all know the offense is stacked. They're gonna do their thing, but I don't know about their defense. Like
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
that's true.
I don't know. It's tough, right? Because I think honestly, I think the biggest factor is coaching. Because like I think the Texans can do it. I mean, you look at
Yeah,
Mahomes, right? Like you made the comparison to Mahomes. Like, I mean, he was in his second, third year when they made the Super Bowl. So it's kind of like it's possible. You know what I mean? It's possible
Oh
for
yeah, hold up. I gotta stop you there because that's the Mahomes bar. That's like people do what
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
do with Brady. Like you
but
can't.
what I'm saying is like
And they had a better team.
Stroud is good enough and they have a good enough pieces. You know what I mean? Like if because for example,
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
if Stroud was on like if you put Stroud on the Chiefs now, you know, it's kind of like they would still be good. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying he would
Yeah.
be Mahomes. Like there's always those one or two plays that make it, but it's like on paper, like they have better skill players. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
or you could argue it's at least the same. So to your point, like, yeah, the defense, I think the defense will be good enough, but then it comes down to like Andy Reid and D'Amico Ryans, you know, like how did they game plan? Because it's like, you know, Diggs, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, like you shouldn't be able to stop that. But somehow, like the Chiefs will find a way. Like the Chiefs also lost, what's it called? Snead.
They lost me,
So it's kind of
which is
like we
big,
don't know what their
which is
defense is
big.
going to look like this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think to your point, Mike, is this is definitely going to come down to coaching, but bro, we got these are two Hall of Fame coaches, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like this is I'm excited to see it, like the chess match that's about to happen, because obviously to the point we made earlier, the Ravens are not going to be able to go man the entire time,
Yeah.
right? So I'm excited to see what type of adjustments they about to make on defense, right? Are they going to be able to fill certain gaps in certain areas, losing Queen, right? Like who really is about to man that field at the linebacker position, because that's what it's really going to come down to me.
Yeah.
They're going to have to find a way to take Travis Kelce out of the game. That is the only way that you get Mahomes ruffled a little bit. But as we come to find out, when they spread it all out, you can't. It's just hard to lock in on one person.
That's
So
the killer.
yeah, I want to see what type of adjustment they're gonna make to deal with that.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, it should be interesting. You know, but that is perfect game to start off the season. You know, like I said, like definitely a potential AFC championship preview. And then on the flip side, we got Friday football down in Brazil. We got the Eagles and Packers. Y'all know who I got, but who do y'all got on for that Friday game?
Listen,
Go
I
ahead.
was having this discussion earlier with my brother, who is an Eagles fan, but I'm not being biased, but I'm being for real. I really need to see. I need to see the Eagles do something before I even get back on that bandwagon. Like, yo, y'all lost 5-6 games in a row at the end
Yeah.
of last year. I mean, bro, like, listen, in a row. This is and to give y'all respect, this is like everybody thought y'all was going to the championship. Like that's not even midway through the season, you could not tell anybody that y'all wasn't coming out the NFC, right? And then to lose 6 in a row with those players, like obviously you get better with Saquon, and I've made mention of this before. I think he's going to have the best season that he's ever had, because for once he's in a situation where he don't got to do everything.
Yeah.
He could really do what he's great at doing, which is running the ball. You got AJ, you got Smith catching, you got a great quarterback. Y'all got a great offensive line. There is no reason. I think the defense got some question marks on it, but there's no reason why the Eagles shouldn't be a beast. But I need to see it before I even get back on y'all side, because losing 6 in a row is that's just bonkers, bro. I can't even put up. I can't fathom it. But y'all did it. Like, and then to Jordan Love, him and Stroud, they both just caught fire at the right time. Like I think Love is going to pick up right where he left off at. Like I don't think he's going to skip a beat. They got Josh Jacobs now running the ball, which is going to take some heat off of him, right? Who's number 8 from over there? I've always loved his game. I forget his name, but the wide receiver. I can't think for the Packers.
Well, Packers number
Reader
8.
Watson.
Number 8, Watson.
Think about number 9 because Jacobs
Oh,
number 8 now.
Right. 9. So
Yeah.
Watson, but that's what I'm talking about though. Watson, bro, he nice, bro. And then Dobbs is nice. Like that game a lot closer than what people think. Like that's not gonna be. Hey man, I'm telling you. Listen. Jordan Love was in the playoffs last year.
We were in the playoffs
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
Where
We made the playoffs. We just didn't win.
You made the playoffs. All right, yeah.
Right,
So,
right,
so for the record, I just
right.
looked it up. They finished the year 1-6, right, including the playoffs, and that one win they beat the Giants. Okay,
That's
so we're talking
crazy.
about how they torpedoed at the end of the year. Jordan Love was the complete opposite at the end of the year,
Right.
right? So
He
he
went up.
shot up. He's everyone's like secret favorite for like
Right.
secret like low key MVP. Like
Yeah.
people are loving him this year. And you mentioned everything about the Eagles. Like the Eagles' offense is similar to the Texans. It's like we know there's no one's arguing about their offense. Obviously, Saquon I think is one probably might be the best pickup of the whole offseason. But you mentioned their secondary. They were 31st versus the pass last year. Their biggest addition, they got CJ Gardner-Johnson back. Is that really the X factor that's gonna put them over the hump? Like, no. Like
No,
no.
no.
Darius Slay lost a step. Like he's not the
Definitely.
shutdown that he is.
And we
So
know
it's
what
like
Bradbury do.
exactly.
We know what Bradbury do.
I think you guys make good points, but I think you guys are missing a lot too. Because if you talk about the offense, right? Like we got rid of the coordinator and we brought in Kellen Moore, who's proven to be like an offensive guy. So he's gonna get it right. It's gonna be a totally different offense. Last year we were running the same 8 plays, and like you could predict it from your TV screen. Like Kellen Moore is not gonna do that. He's gonna have a whole bunch of motion. People are gonna be like in and out of the slot, moving, switching positions. Like we picked up Dotson, we picked up Barkley. Like the offense is going to be good. Like they're going to move. Like on the defensive side, like in free agency, yeah, we picked up Gardner Johnson, but we also got Isaiah Rodgers back. Like Isaiah Rodgers was suspended. Like he was a stud on the Colts. Like he's our starting corner along with Slay. Bradbury now is playing safety. So it's kind of like we've switched people
Which
That's
around.
not a good thing. That's not
yeah,
a good
right.
thing
But he's not
I was just
starting.
about to
But
say
what I'm saying is he's not
to change
starting.
position.
But he's not starting.
he's gonna be
You
on
know
the
what I mean?
field.
Like we got
He's
Maddox
gonna play
back.
on the
We got
field.
Maddox back from injury. We drafted Quinton Mitchell like in the first round. We drafted Cooper DeJean. Like
Yeah, I was gonna say you
we
got
drafted
Cooper.
like a
Yeah.
lot of
I
people.
like
Like
Cooper. I like
especially like
Cooper.
we made a lot of focus to like getting younger and better in the secondary. And like now we're unleashing like some of our younger guys on the front line as well. Because I mean, last year we got rid of Fletcher Cox too. So like, but now we got the young boys, the Georgia boys who are back. Dean was hurt last year. Like we had a lot of injuries. Like we had a lot of people who didn't play. So even though we didn't pick up a lot of guys necessarily, we have a lot of guys who were on the team
Who,
but just didn't play and now are playing this year.
who led the
Another
Eagles in sacks last year?
Might
it
have been
wasn't
Carter,
Swift.
honestly, or was it Reddick?
I thought it was Reddick. That's where I was going because you lost your best pass rusher. You brought in Bryce Huff, who's a good pass rusher, but with the Jets, but he was a rotational player. He only played a handful of downs. He wasn't a 4-down player. Reddick, I think, is quietly like one of the top like 5-10 range of pass rushers, at least numbers wise. He's always getting double-digit sacks. I think that's going to be a huge loss. Especially because he wasn't just a pass rusher; he was also versatile. He could drop back. He was one of those like really He's like one of your prototypical edge guys in like a 3-4 where he can rush and he can drop back. So he's going to be a big loss. I don't know if like you mentioned, the Georgia boys, the big guys, the young guys, they're going to have to step up. But you also, like you said, you lost Fletcher Cox too. Like those are not easy
you're saying
replacements.
you lost Fletcher Cox for Jalen Carter, who's literally like, if you look at the
Don't do
stats,
that. Don't do that.
no,
Don't do
if
that.
you
Don't
look
do
at the
that.
stats, like he didn't play as much, but when he played, he was the most effective defensive player last year. Like, so it's kind of like him being a full-time player now is not
But
like a downgrade at all.
Can you play full? Can you play?
Yeah,
Can you play full time
he's
though?
gonna play.
Like
Let's put it this way: he's gonna play.
he's a
more,
big boy. He's a big.
but he's gonna play
dude.
more than he played last year. Like they all the reports are good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not gonna be like just a specialty guy that just comes in for a handful of plays. Like he's gonna play. Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, if anything, we got younger. You know what I mean? On defense.
So he's biased. Thank
Is
you.
it true?
And no. You definitely make some great points. I think the best point that you made is that there's a lot of people that didn't play last year, so we really are going to get the first good look at what your team really is come Saturday. So which is perfectly fine. No, Friday. That game is Friday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Right,
Yeah.
tomorrow. So I think one of the hidden points that we're missing too is like, don't forget, towards the end of the year, y'all didn't just have like losing problems, y'all had locker room problems.
Sure. Yeah.
Like
Sirianni.
Smith low key, right? Like nobody was really rocking with Sirianni, right?
Sure.
And then Smith was like low key publicly coming out like about his distrust with Jalen. Like
Sure.
I seen one clip come out. They had him falling on the ground at practice, like practicing how to like not fumble the ball. I was like, yo, this is crazy. But I think I want to see what that chemistry is going to look like. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from Smith and Jalen. They definitely have chemistry, but it did take a big hit towards the end of last year, and we haven't really seen them do anything since then. So
Sure. I mean,
I want
we
to
haven't
see like
seen
what
any
that's going to
play,
look
and we
like.
haven't seen any team play since last year. So I mean, yeah, I mean,
Well, yeah,
you
but
can say
I'm
that
talking
about
about
everybody.
but
You know
every
what I mean?
team didn't go 1-5.
That's fine. You
Like,
know what I mean? But
yeah.
at
So
the end of the day, I mean, even if you
and
look at,
every team
but
wide receiver wasn't arguing with their quarterback.
that's fair. Like I said, I think we got a lot of those people out of the building who were kind of causing those issues. Like a lot of it, like I said, came down to the coordinators. But even if we talk about this game specifically, like I think the thing I do believe Jordan Love is good, but I think also like people are forgetting like now we have tape on Jordan Love. You know what I mean? Like quarterbacks always have like that first year of success, like where they're actually playing, like even especially if they've got to sit for a little bit. It's like, oh, like they're the real deal, they're this, they're that. So like he's gonna be good, but like now we have a lot of tape on him. Like we're gonna know how they're gonna use him. Like so he'll still be good, but he's not gonna be. I don't think he's just gonna come off like just rolling like how he did last year. Like I think there's going to be a lot of things that change or a lot of different looks that he's going to get this year that he didn't get before. And also like I think a big caveat is like yeah he did play well, but that Cowboys win is I put an asterisk on there because like the Cowboys kind of choked it a little bit more than like you know what I mean like the Packers like blew it out the water. Like I think Aaron Jones had the best game of his season like that game like everything worked, you know what I mean? So it's like yeah he's good, but that's not going to be like the norm for every single game.
I think the
Yeah, but
game gonna be a lot closer than what people
It
think.
might be close. Yeah, I think it'll be close.
Yeah,
I,
I think it's
yeah,
definitely gonna be.
I think what you're missing is what's around Jordan Love. Because you mentioned all the receivers, like they're all super young, they're all super talented, they're all trending upwards too, right? Between Reed, Watson, Dubes, and then but I think what we're missing is the Josh Jacobs pickup because
Yeah,
he's such an upgrade over Aaron Jones. Like Aaron Jones was good, no doubt, but Josh Jacobs is 3 years younger. He's only 26 years old. He's coming off an injury, but the last year he played a full year. The guy had 1,600 total yards.
Yeah.
He's definitely a beast, and Lafleur's offense loves play action. They're based through the run. They go through the run first. Love was fourth in play action attempts last year, so you give him an even better run game that they can be a little more reliable. I don't think Love's going to have to do as much carrying as he did last year. I think they're going to try to lean on Josh Jacobs a little bit. They paid him money for a
Yeah.
reason. They're going to give him the ball. So I think Love's got some help this year, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
they should be good. But even still, the complete team. I mean, name three guys on the Packers defense. You know what I mean? Like we know Jair Alexander, but like
I
after
understand.
that,
Yeah.
it's kind of you know what I mean. So it's like they got a guard too. So like I said, I think the Packers would do well. I think they make the playoffs again this year. But I just don't think they're going to be as dominant. I think they'll have show flashes. But I still think they're like one or two pieces away from like really competing.
Yeah, the Eagles are definitely like better than the Packers, but I wouldn't be surprised at the end of the year if the Packers ended up with a better record.
Yeah.
And I also want to throw another caveat in there too, and I don't mean this in any bad way, but also from somebody that is a Giants fan, right? That lived with Saquon for a little while. Another point I want to make is like let's just like he also need to play the whole season
Yeah.
to like really see what y'all gonna do.
Fair.
And from like I said, from having him, no, I'm not wishing no injury on
No,
nobody,
no, but I
but
get what you mean. He's got to stay
but
healthy. Yeah.
he got to play
Yeah.
like for real.
He hasn't done it
He
in a
really
couple
has
of
to.
years.
Yeah.
He hasn't done that in like 2 years. And everybody like football speed is football speed.
Yeah.
So you could train all you want, but if you're not in there taking them hits and doing what you got to do, it's that much harder to get back on. And he's had like injuries involving his legs, right? So these are not like these are running back type injuries, which we all know the lifespan of a running back. So I think this year, again, I still believe he's going to have his best season yet because, again, he doesn't have to be everything. But that is going to be something to look out for, to see like, hey, is he going to have the same step? Like, is there going to, or did he lose a step? I've been hearing good things come out of camp, though, about him really killing it. So we'll see. But like I said, he got to play.
The thing with Saquon though is he's always, even when they had Odell, he was always the top name on the scouting report, right?
Correct.
Like,
Yeah, that's true.
But now you got, not only do you have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, you got Goddard, you got to worry about Jalen Hurts running as well. So I think Barkley's never seen holes that he's gonna see coming up. So it's gonna be crazy.
He catches the ball out the backfield.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be he's a Swiss Army knife. Like, and he nice. Period. Right. So
if he's healthy, that offense is scary.
If he's healthy, and the Eagles play like they got some sense,
you giving them the one seed?
I almost want to say Eagles Lions, NFC, championship.
No 49ers? No Niners?
You know what, man?
You done with them?
So hard. I'm trying not to be done with them, bro. But it's so hard to get back. And like, like they have been doing it, but
their window is getting
that window like small. This at this point. That window like this at this point. Yeah. If they don't, right, they gotta pay Purdy. They've been getting by. This year, they're gonna have to pay him. And
they're paying everyone. Everyone else.
That's another thing. I want to tell y'all, that's another thing to watch out for, because most of these young dudes now, they flipping the game. Like before, it was one of those things where guys would sit back and wait for that discussion to come up. Like they would play through whatever contract they had, then be like, okay, we know we got some discussions coming. These dudes today, they're like, yo, I know I got 2 years left, but I want to do it right now. And I'm not coming to practice.
But it'd be crazy. In terms of Purdy, like the 49ers have like, even the Ayuk deal that they just signed, like they structured it in a way where they'll have money for Purdy.
They don't commit like upfront.
Yeah. They deferred a lot of money.
He getting paid. That's not even really. That's not even really what the topic is. But he's going to get paid.
There's no way the 49ers can keep everyone they have right now. They're going to lose.
Exactly.
They're going to lose some. They're not going to. They're probably going to lose Debo. They're probably going to lose Debo.
Well, this is the year that like they implode.
They got to do it. They got to do it. Yes.
Like if they don't have the same dominance, it's like
that's why I don't.
I wouldn't say similar to the Eagles, but I could see them kind of self-destructing a little bit.
But the thing with the 49ers is they didn't, off-season wise, on paper, they didn't get worse at all. They stayed the status quo, which they can't get much higher. But
yeah, exactly.
They're gonna be in the mix. But another thing too is how many times has Debo been hurt?
Yeah.
Like
Kittle,
bro, Kittle. Like it. Listen, they're gonna be in the mix, but like I said, and McCaffrey. But you know, McCaffrey still be having the seasons he be having, and then they just be losing. So at the end of the day, if you can't rock with Mahomes and them out west, then I mean, it's all pointless to me.
Yeah.
But I think if the Eagles play, they got some sense, because the Lions not gonna keep taking L's like that. Like they gonna break through. They gonna go. Did they go second round last year?
Yeah,
they did, right?
They were a game away.
Yeah. Yeah, they were one game. Listen, they not gonna keep. Yes, everybody thought they was going. Everybody thought they was going.
They were up big at halftime.
Yeah, they were up
big. Bro, listen,
they gave up like 27 or something. Like
listen, that's not gonna happen twice. That's not gonna happen twice. Not with that team. They got the whole city behind. For real, and they good.
Like earlier we talked about the Texans, how they were like they're not there yet. The Lions are there.
The Lions are there.
Yeah, the Lions are there. They went through the tough loss. Like they're ready.
They have everything, all the ingredients that you need for somebody to say we're going to win it now.
Yeah.
Like they've done all that, and don't forget too, with their wide receiver core, Williams is coming back.
Remember,
he gets a full year.
Williams was that dude before Amara got there.
Yeah.
He just got hurt.
This is supposed to be the year.
this gonna be his year.
This will be
Like
the
this.
year.
It's his
So
third
no,
year,
it's
right?
so
You
Yeah,
guys know
his
about the
third
third year
year.
breakout,
yeah,
right? Third year
yeah.
breakout.
It's
This year,
so
him and
so I
Gibbs are
think
like, yeah,
him and
like,
Gibbs about to go
yeah,
crazy. But I still like Montgomery. They have everything that you need to win a championship, which is
They
why,
got the
as far as NFC is concerned, I really see, like I said, them or the Eagles. I can't really because I just I just don't see the 49ers. I don't know. Like it's exhausting after a while, bro.
yeah.
Because they not making it to the playoffs. They going to the Super
It,
Bowl.
it,
Like
it'll be interesting because I agree with you guys for the Lions. I also think the Lions window could be a lot shorter than a lot other
oh
people think.
yes,
Because if you
yes,
think about the
yes.
division, we just talked about the Packers. You know, the
Mhm,
Vikings, you know, they're kind of rebuilding, but they have dynamic pieces. And then the Bears, like,
mhm.
if not this year, you know, like if Caleb is the guy, you know, he may not, he obviously won't do it this year, but they should be close. Like they're going all out. So it's like that window is, you know, it's going to be tough to win that division. Like that's going to turn into like one of the tougher divisions in the NFC.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
But
very young and very up and coming, and I don't know, we'll see. But
yeah,
the thing with the Lions is like their O line is so dominant and
yeah,
so good. I don't
The
think,
Lions, the
yeah,
Lions gonna be good for a little while. Like
yeah,
they gonna be
they're
good.
they're built the right way, like up front.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're like foundationally,
yeah.
like they're built from the ground up.
we'll see.
And
We'll see.
like I said,
Golf not
they
getting
got
younger, man. Golf not getting
golf. Not
younger.
Yeah,
hey,
but he's not
if
old. He's not
if he
old.
showed
Like
us anything, right? If he showed us anything, he had his best year last year.
Yeah,
Like
listen.
if anything,
and
I
don't
think
forget
Goff's
when he had the
proven
Rams going crazy.
exactly. Yeah, he's proven he's good enough
Yeah,
to get
I'm
there.
just saying it's
And
going to be tough. It's going to be tough
and,
because like you just,
and we met.
but you guys just said the Packers, so it's like who wins the division?
I still got the Lions, but
But I'm just saying
Yeah.
that the Packers are coming though, right? Like we
yeah,
acknowledge the
Packers are
Packers
coming.
are coming. We know the Bears are selling out. So like if Caleb's not a bust, you know, I'm just
I'm
saying
not sold
it's
on
going to be
Caleb. But yeah,
tough.
I hear you. I hear you.
It's going to
Yeah,
be tough, you know. Like
yeah.
Mhm.
I think they're good, but I'm just saying it is there's going to be tough wins, man. Like it's going to be hard to get, you know, just dominate that division.
But not just that division, but like the rest of the NFC, I think is wide open for the next 3-4 years. Like there's no Kansas City in the NFC. We mentioned the 49ers window is closing. They probably if their window closes, let's say in 2 years, like what other team do you really see where it's like going into the year they're the favorite to be the 1 or 2 seed like consistently? I don't really see that in the NFC. I think the Lions can be that team of any other team in the NFC.
But
Maybe the Eagles,
they
but like again, I don't trust their defense at all. So
They could. I don't think you're wrong. I just think like we said, like if you talk about like all the up and coming teams, the majority of the up and coming teams are on in that division.
yeah, that's
You know
fair.
what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's gonna be tough. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens. But yeah, let's keep it moving. And I'm y'all ready for sit and start?
Yeah.
All right, let's start.
Yeah, let's go.
We're looking at first person is Jaden Daniels. So I'm gonna go to you Lee. Sit or start, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels playing the Buccaneers.
I don't love playing Jaden Daniels. Like if it's a 1 QB league, I think you can probably find someone a little more safer. 2 QB league, I love him as a QB2, just simply for the rushing floor. Like any quarterback that runs in fantasy is going to be worth playing. Um, so we'll see. They're supposed to obviously the offense is going to be built around him. If he can establish like 50, 60 rushing yards a game, that's an extra touchdown. That adds up. So I don't like him as like a QB1 this week, but if you're in a 2 QB league, I don't think you can go wrong.
So you sitting him or starting him?
I'm sitting him, sitting him.
Sitting him. Sitting him.
I can't play a rookie wide receiver. I a rookie quarterback week 1. I got to see something.
All right. All right. Dejan, you sitting or starting Jaden Daniels?
I'm starting them. Being that obviously I'm OD familiar with the NFC East. I'm intrigued by Jaden Daniels. I think he's nice. I want to see what he's going to be for real. But it's kind of like contradictory. But I don't like when they have rookie quarterbacks like starting out, like as soon as they get in the league.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a level of development that's being missed. And when you put him out the gate, like everybody can't, like how we said earlier, everybody can't be Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, but also he sat right. He sat behind Alex Smith
Yeah.
like before he got in and he started going crazy. For like the quarterbacks we've seen that have produced really well, like they sat. Um,
Jordan Love
unless
too.
you like a unless you Jordan Love sat,
Yeah.
behind a great quarterback. Unless you Cam Newton, like I don't think Cam sat. I think when Cam got in, he just went. But Cam is a different type of individual. So Cam Newton was that dude. Like, yeah. So I don't. So that's my only contradiction. I don't like seeing him start because he's going to make mistakes, right? He's definitely going to make mistakes. But also, to kind of go against what I'm saying, which is weird, but he don't really got nothing to lose neither. Like they drafted him because they wanted him to be the number one quarterback there. So it's kind of like I want to see him go out there and ball. I think on the Buccaneers side, like they lost White. Like White isn't there from the and
who's also on the Eagles,
their
but go ahead.
cornerback.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is on it. But isn't he injured now?
Yeah,
He injured or
he's
something.
missing game
Yeah.
1, but he's on the Eagles.
Okay. Bias. But yeah, I also feel like the Buccaneers defense got some chinks in their armor. Like they're not that Super Bowl defense that was there before. And even with that one, we could almost really say Brady really dug them out of that hole. But the defense was lit, but they got a few DBs that's not there anymore either. So I would start him. I don't think he got nothing to lose.
Cool. Yeah. I'm gonna sit him this week. I do like him in like the Kingsbury like offense. I do think at some point he'll start rolling, and he's just gonna have weeks where he's dynamic. But starting the season on the road against Tampa Bay, who's not necessarily an exciting team, but just kind of just solid. I don't really like it, so I'm just gonna sit him. All
Yeah,
right.
I really wouldn't want to have to play any Commanders.
Yeah. Not week 1. Not week 1.
I tell you what though. One thing that I can say about the Commanders is that they have always been good. They just never had a quarterback. That's always been their number one issue. They never had a quarterback, but they always got everything else. Like 17 McLaurin. Is it McLaurin?
McLaurin. Yeah, I like Scary Terry. I like Scary Terry. I like Brian Robinson.
He's nice. Yeah, Robinson is a sure thing. A lot of people be overlooking him. Like he is OD consistent.
Consistent. I think people were turned off with the Eckler acquisition, thinking he's gonna steal all the catches from him. Yeah. But I'm down on Eckler big. I think he hit the wall last year. He was just watching him. He was not the same.
He used to be that guy, but that's what I was talking about earlier about that shelf life for RBs.
Yeah,
like
it's a wall.
Really go, it's a wall. Like they could really go crazy one season, and then that next season come back that's what like people like Derrick Henry, like people waiting to see like when some of these running backs are going to hit these walls. So
yeah,
Commander's trash. So we
trash.
So next guy we got is we got James Conner. So I'm gonna start with you this time, Dejan. Are you sitting or starting James Conner?
To me, James Conner is always a short thing. Like I don't think he's ever James. Like he's pretty consistent. He's a great runner back. I've always loved this style ever since his story. Like hearing about his story and everything coming out of Pitt. He's a tough downhill type runner, and you can never go wrong with those type of dudes because after a while, throughout the game, like the defense get tired of tackling people like that. And like I said before, like he's always been consistent. I would definitely start James Conner for sure.
Yeah, you got to start him. I think he's like probably like the perfect RB2 on your team, where like he's not gonna end up being like a top 5 running back. No one's saying that, but he's gonna get so much volume as like the bell cow. And like I think the coach even came out, or one of the coordinators basically came out a couple of days ago, where like he's our bell cow. He's gonna get everything. So just on volume play and what he's proven previously, I think you got to play him every week. I think last year he was quietly like RB13. I think I looked earlier. So like again, he's not going to blow up any week, but he'll consistently have that high floor just
Yeah.
because of his volume. So I'm playing him. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna start them too. They're playing Buffalo on the road, so I think it'll be a tough game. I actually think Cardinals like end up winning this game. Close game, they end up winning. But yeah, James Conner, like you guys said, he's solid. He's gonna get it whether it's on the ground or through the air. So yeah, I think he's a solid option.
Mhm.
All right, next up we got Aaron Rodgers. So I'm gonna start with you, Lee. Your Jets, Aaron
I'm
Rodgers at San Fran.
yeah, I'm benching him this week. I'm benching
Ah,
him this week.
you funny. He
I
said,
gotta
ah.
bench him. I gotta bench him. Yeah. We don't know. I mean, he's Aaron Rodgers, obviously, but obviously he's coming off the Achilles, going against a top 5 defense on the road. I think the Jets' offense this year is going to be the Brees Hall show. It's going to be
Mhm.
Brees all day. Like I think he's going to end up being RB1, especially in this first game. I mentioned Aaron Rodgers coming off injury. I don't think they're going to throw him out there and make him throw it 45 times a game. They're going to obviously try to protect him, aka a lot of quick passes to Garrett, get a lot of yak, a lot of screens to Brees. So I think it hurts to say, but yeah, I'm benching him.
Dejan, what you got?
Um, I would never disrespect Aaron Rodgers like that. He's another one of those players. Like he's one of them NFL players that, I mean, and you guys could let me know if you disagree. There's some players that you look at in NFL, you be like first ballot. Like we all do that. We're like, yo, he's first ballot. This dude is first ballot. And one thing that we know about the first ballot players, they make the impossible possible. I've seen this man complete some passes that I'm just like, what? Like, how? You know what I mean? But and to your point, I understand he's coming off of a Achilles injury. I've had 2 Achilles injuries. That's what I'm really like. That's what I'm really keen to like seeing is like, did he lose a step, right? Because he didn't really do too much in the preseason, but I know that they're going to try to protect him. In my opinion, that's going to harm what the offense can really do. But again, this is Aaron Rodgers we talking about, and like Brees Hall, but Wilson is a good dude. And he also got Williams from the
Mike
Chargers.
Williams, yeah,
Yeah, he got Mike Williams now. So, and one thing you know about Aaron Rodgers is do what he want to do. So yeah, they may even be telling him, listen, we want you to do the screens, like let's get some short shit off. He gonna check it. And if he sees something, you already know
yeah,
how Aaron play. Aaron don't listen to nobody but Aaron. and and that's a defensive head coach. So you know Aaron really running that show like on offense.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
I
you
think
start him.
I would start him. I would start him. Yeah, because it's Aaron Rodgers.
Uh, I'm actually gonna sit him.
Mm,
I think I agree. Like Aaron Rodgers is good. I think when Aaron Rodgers was on the Packers, I think Mike McCarthy got like a lot of the flack for them like starting slow. But I do think it's like an Aaron Rodgers thing, where it's like
mm,
once he's clicking with guys, but it does take a second to get it going.
right.
I do agree, like with Lee. I think they're going to be very cautious. Like if the game is not close, or the game kind of gets out of hand, I think they will kind of fold it in. I mean, it's a long season. You know what I mean? And looking at their schedule too, it's like it's not that tough kind of going forward for the next few games. So it's like, you know, Aaron Rodgers at San Fran, like I don't think they're gonna pull out all the stops to try to get it. Like I said, if it's close, I think Aaron Rodgers will be Aaron Rodgers. But I just think it's gonna be a little bit slow trying to get everybody on the right page. And yeah, I would sit him.
Yeah, just to add, like you mentioned, he didn't play in the preseason at all, right?
Yeah,
So
Mhm.
he didn't play in the preseason. He didn't play since last offseason because I don't even
probably
count week
hasn't been
one.
hit.
He hasn't been a hit. He hasn't played
Yo,
a real game. This is a preseason game for him, really. So it's gonna take him some time. But yeah,
I just feel like man, it's Aaron Rodgers, bro.
he's
Like
also 40-41.
that's a fact.
So
That's a fact.
I don't
But
know.
Aaron Rodgers is up there. Aaron Rodgers is like a Tom Brady.
That's fair.
Like he's like a Philip
He
Rivers. Like,
is.
like these dudes was old. Like they was
Yeah,
have to, but they were still playing at a high level. So we'll see.
yeah. Okay. We got three more. We got Zay Flowers. We were talking about him earlier. So Zay Flowers, Dejan to the start.
I would sit him. Like I said, I had him in fantasy last year. No, work like yo. I really
quick
need to
sit,
see.
quick sit.
Yo, sit, bro. But because listen, listen, I had him on my fantasy. I watched him. If you on my fantasy team, I'm on your heels. I'm looking at all the updates. I'm checking everything. And like I said, tonight is going to be really important for anybody that's rocking with him because you have to see a level of maturity come out of him because there are no room for them type of mistakes on the NFL level. Like, in college, you can get that. Oh, he's excited. This is the NFL. These type of penalties will cause you a game, which is what happened to them.
Yeah.
So, for me, like I said, I need to see him like take it up a notch where he catching balls, pause, and he getting first downs or whatever. It's like, okay, bet like I've been here before. Let's get back to the huddle. We trying to score this touchdown. Like I want to see that come from him. Like no bonehead penalties.
Yeah.
Like some maturity. So I would say.
Hey, Lee.
Yeah, I'm sitting them too. I mentioned it earlier. I think they're gonna just feed Henry. It's gonna be they're gonna try to keep Mahomes off the field. It's gonna be an ugly game. He might catch like one or two bombs, but like I don't see him getting more than 4 or 5 catches at max. If anything, if I'm gonna pick one of the catch passers on the Ravens, it would be Mark Andrews this week. But I don't think it's gonna be a lot of outside action, especially again. I think they're gonna try to establish Henry. So
Who's their
sitting
one?
Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. They got Bateman as a 2.
Yeah.
Bateman's the 2, I think, and they got Zay Flowers as the 1.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers is wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Am I forgetting
Oh, they
someone?
definitely lose.
Yeah.
They definitely lose.
Yeah.
Now I gotta look it up.
No, he's number one.
He's definitely their 1. Yeah.
I'm definitely.
And Bateman's their 2. Did they pick someone else?
No, it's
He's
Zay
higher.
Flowers, Bateman. But I like I said, I'm a follow suit because I think honestly I think it's if you're talking about just pass catchers, it's like it's Andrews, Zay Flowers, and then it's likely honestly. So it's
Yeah. Oh, they picked up Aguilar.
Nah.
That's not gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm
Good night.
sitting him. Like I said, I think the stat
Good night.
line is something like maybe he has like 5 or 6 catches and he has like 40, 50 yards. Like, to your point, Lee, like they're gonna run with Derrick Henry a lot more than they did last year with their other running backs. I think I was looking at it earlier. Like there was a lot of games where like Lamar Jackson didn't even throw like 25 times. You know what I mean? Like in this NFL, like quarterbacks minimum are throwing like 30 times a game, and like he's not even hitting that mark most of the time. And now they have Derrick Henry, so I just don't even see like that much room for like upside for like Zay Flowers. Like unless you said he breaks one loose or he catches a bomb, but yeah, I see a lot of reverses, screens, like quick slants, like a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. The only thing you can say is like if the Chiefs go up big and it turns into a shootout, he might get garbage time points. But just going off the game last year in the playoffs, it was 17-10. So I don't think all of a sudden it's going to be 41-40 this game.
Even that again, like I said, I was looking at it earlier. If you looked at the like Mark Andrews led the team in touchdowns last year despite the injury, and second was Likely and Zay Flowers. So it's like to say that like your 2 tight ends or your 2 leaders in touchdowns, it's like you know what I mean? Like I honestly I see a lot of 2 tight end sets. I really think they're going to use Likely a lot more this year. It just makes sense like with Derrick Henry, but I don't think Zay Flowers is gonna like I just don't think he's gonna take off this year. I don't think he's gonna be a good fantasy option. He'll have weeks, but I just don't like him.
It's one of the like might be the only offense where like there's no emphasis on the wide receivers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in the offensive game. So,
The fact that he the number 1 should tell me everything I need to know. And that's no slight to him, but nah, that ain't it.
Yeah.
That's not it.
All right.
Sit his ass.
Yeah.
So we got Calvin Ridley at the Bears.
Sit him for the whole rest of the year.
Sit him for the thank
for the
you.
rest of the year. Just cut him now.
He beat me to it. Get him out of here. Oh my god.
He was so for context, he was he was on my fantasy team last year. He was a keeper for me. So I hate him a little bit more, but not even just that. I think the Titans, there's too many mouths to feed and not a good enough quarterback. So you got Hopkins, you got Ridley, and they got what was it, Tyler Boyd? Is that what they got?
Yeah.
Or Yeah, Tyler Boyd. And Will Levis, he's a talented young quarterback, but I don't see him being CJ Stroud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like the Titans. The Titans are one of those, like, they got all the names. They got a bunch of names, but I don't think any of them are actually, like, they're all over the, like, past their prime. I'm sitting Ridley. There's no.
I'm gonna change mine, right? I actually am high on Levis in fantasy. Not in real life, but I think they only have pass catchers. Like they have
Yeah, Tony
Pollard
Pollard's
and
trash.
like
Yeah.
Spears like back there who are both gonna catch passes out of the backfield. Like you could even see like two running back sets, but it's like they're gonna throw. Like if they're down, they're gonna throw. Like they got all these wide receivers. They got like a new coach, new offensive coordinator. Like so, I think he'll have some weeks at Bears. Like I think might be one of those weeks because I think the Bears will be a better team. I think it might be a little close. They may win that game, but I think Levis is the guy that like quietly throws for like a little over 4,000 yards, but like they're not good. You know what I mean? But it's just like they're
He's
down
got it.
all the
Yeah.
time, and he's gonna have to
Yeah.
throw so many times this game. So it's like Calvin Ridley will get like a quiet 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, and like he'll throw for four
Yeah,
thousand
but
yards.
the thing with him is, like, it's he's so inconsistent, and like
Yeah,
Mm.
like he'll have, like, at the end of the day he'll have his numbers, but like just from owning him, he'll have weeks
Yeah,
where he'll
they
get like
nasty.
20 points, and then the next
They
week he'll get
nasty.
like 2 points, and
Literally.
especially on that Titans, like you mentioned those names, they're all gonna have their weeks. That's the thing. Like there's gonna be a week DeAndre Hopkins goes off. There's gonna be a week Tyler
sure.
Boyd goes off. There's gonna be weeks Ridley goes off. It's like, but you never know when it's gonna be. It's like there's got to be a safe. You got to have a safer option,
Yeah,
a more reliable option to play, because most likely Calvin Ridley is probably your flex or wide receiver 2,
yeah,
and like I don't know. I just he's too inconsistent for me to confidently start him every week.
it's fair.
Yeah, I'm definitely not starting him. I had him on my fantasy as well. So absolutely not. He is I literally second everything that he just said. He could be hot, then he'd be
Yeah,
cold. I mean, I've seen drop offs and points, but like this dude will go from like in the beginning. I think that first or second game
The first game he
they
went
was,
off. Yeah, the
well, they
first game he
was
went off.
force feeding them. They was
Yeah,
forcing it. Yo, he had his points was crazy. Week 2, 3. I almost drove to Jacksonville to go in that locker room and square up with him. Like, are
yeah.
you for
yeah,
real? Like, just
Di-
no level of consistency.
yeah.
None.
Jacksonville, yeah. We're talking about the offseason. Like Jacksonville didn't want him at all. Like I don't even
They
think they
didn't
offered
want
him a
him.
contract. I
Yeah.
don't even think they offered him
Yeah.
anything. They're like, all right,
They
you
didn't
can
even
go.
want him. They
Yeah,
didn't even want him. Everybody thought like, dag, like he about to come back and go crazy. But
yeah.
but we had made mentioned that earlier. Like when you out of that
I
rotation,
was
like
about to say that. Yeah,
when you not playing football speed, it could really like it could
yeah,
and he was like gone. So like people like to that point, Saquon, right?
Yeah.
They have not been playing. Like it's important to see like how they about to come back. Aaron Rodgers, like to see like what they even about to look like. So he definitely fell into that category. Yeah, so I would say.
Okay. All right. And the last one we got here is Raheem Mostert. So Deja, I'm gonna start with
He's
you. Sit or start. Raheem Mostert at home against Jacksonville.
I'm starting them. Jacksonville's defense is dookie. The thing about um, the Dolphins is that everybody's so worried about Tyreek Hill. Like they always taking an extra person out of the box that needs to be in the box to handle that run situation. And they always got they got one that's definitely following them, but then it's always another individual just in case, like looking over their shoulder. So they be so worried about the Pat Waddle, like they be so worried about the pass that it does. That's why I believe he had the season that he even had. Like
Yeah.
so, and like I said, the defense is booty. But I definitely see him going in on Jacksonville for sure. Yeah.
I'm really down on Mostert this year. I'm benching him week 1 versus the Jags.
Wow.
We mentioned the running back wall. Like Mostert's 32 years old, and he had a career year at 31.
Yeah.
It's like And not only that, but like I think you're gonna start to see them. Achan, I think is it Achan? Achan, I still don't know, but I think Achan's gonna get
I'll be
the
calling them acne.
acting. But
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
think
man.
I think last year Mostert was like the starter, and then Achan was kind of more like the secondary guy. I think it's gonna switch this year. I think I'm gonna see Achan get a little more run. And I think I think the Dolphins feel the same way about Mostert too, because they drafted Wright in the 4th round
Yeah.
of the Jalen Wright in the 4th round, right? And so he himself, I think, he's like a sub 4.40, so
Yeah.
perfect, more speed. So they're gonna want to see what he can do. And when you want to give a younger guy looks, it comes at the expense of the older guys. So I'm down on Mostert this year. It's just hard for me to see him even coming close to what he did last year. And I hate to be ageist again, but 32 for a running back is ancient. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm torn. I'm gonna start him this week. I think I agree. Like I think he's on the way down, but I think I'm looking at their bye is week 6. I think around that time is where you'll really start to see the flip. But I think to start the season, it'll be the same as last year. Then you'll gradually turn, and then by week 6, we'll have like that full blown like Devin A. Chain like in the backfield. We'll get the rookies. Like they always have like 3 or 4 guys going. So it's like I think we'll definitely see that flip. But yeah, I'm starting him this week. But I agree. I think he's on the decline.
Yeah, and let me just double down on Jalen Wright. I think he's like a perfect bench stash. If you got a roster spot, if you got Nick Chubb on the IR, you got an extra spot. I would throw Jalen Wright on there, just because Mostert's has his injury issues and he's
Yeah,
old. Achan has his injury issues and he's old. Not old, but he's had his injury issues.
yeah,
And we've seen the Dolphins have success with those 2 running backs before. And again, I mentioned Jalen Wright fits right in with his 4.3
yeah.
40 time. So one injury to them, and Jalen Wright all of a sudden becomes like a solid flex play for
Yeah.
the week.
And
So
also
I like Jalen Wright for
also
that.
the way the Dolphins run it up. I mean, he's gonna have opportunities late. So
Yeah.
all right, cool. Well, that's to the start. So let's get into the parlay of the day before we get out of here. Yeah, so Sebastian had a huge parlay for just this game tonight. He had Derrick Henry anytime touchdown, along with Baltimore Ravens money line. So he's going heavy on the Baltimore Ravens. He had Pacheco anytime touchdown, Zay Flowers 3+ receptions, Travis Kelce 40+ yards, Pacheco 40+ yards on the ground, Rashid Rice, 40+ yards, Derrick Henry 50 yards, and Lamar Jackson 25 yards on the ground, and then he has Isaiah Likely anytime touchdown. Well,
Is Isaiah Pacheco, because Pacheco another one. Like he could go crazy and then he'll do enough to help his team win.
Yeah.
I can't really, like, if they need him to get a first down, he'll go in there and get the first down. Like they
Yeah.
like he plays like that. So, but that's too much on that ticket.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
he got some good picks on
but
there. He got
it's a
some good picks.
free. So he told me it's a free $10 bet. I think the
Oh, you
payout is
gotta
like
do that.
3,500.
Yeah, you gotta play that. Yeah.
So
The only thing I'm concerned about is the likely touchdown.
it's the likely
So
touchdown.
we
Like I
gotta,
said, I
we
think
gotta
it
see.
comes.
that's probably the biggest. That's probably the biggest odds
Yeah.
on the ticket. Probably that one.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
could have really left that off. He could have left that
Yeah.
one long,
I think that
and that would be
definitely
a decent
catapulted
ticket.
the ticket.
Yeah.
All right. So
That's true.
real quick, before we get out of here, both of y'all, who wins the AFC? Who wins the NFC? Who wins the Super Bowl?
Jets over Lions 31-17.
I got.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
I gave you a score too. Hey.
He's biased.
Okay.
Wait, I had to think for a second. Like, did he just say who I thought he just said? Okay.
That's an interesting Super Bowl. That's an interesting
Word.
Jets
Super Bowl.
Lions.
I think. Mm, mm.
You were hyping the Lions up before.
Well, no, I definitely got the Lions coming out the NFC.
Okay.
I definitely got the Lions coming. Where I'm struggling is the AFC. because I really think it's going to be between them three teams. This is going to be the Chiefs, or it's going to be the Ravens, or it's going to be the Texans. What I mean, just knowing that Zay Flowers is the number one, I do not like that, not even a little bit. So I'm already
Yeah.
taking them off because that means Derrick Henry is going to have to do a lot. So I'm already kind of down on them a little bit. But yeah, if I had to choose, like I said, it's tough to go against Mahomes. Like if he healthy,
Yeah.
then it is what it is. So I'm gonna say Chiefs Lions, and I think the Lions finally get over the hump.
I'm
What
going.
about you,
I'm going
Clay?
Eagles Chiefs, man. I'm going Eagles Chiefs. I think it's gonna be a rematch of a couple years ago. I think the Eagles take it this time.
Of course.
I will say it's really hard to not pick Mahomes
It's
because what the
hard.
Chiefs were like 4 out of
Yeah, yeah.
5, 4 out of
You
5 or
can't
something.
you
Like
It's
they've
tough.
been
you
to the Super
can't
Bowl.
not pick you can't
But
not pick Mahomes.
It's tough.
yeah,
Got
my
it.
Jets pick was obviously a homer. If I'm doing like a smart pick, if I'm going to put money down, I'm putting money on the Chiefs. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I will say I think it's Chiefs Chiefs Jets, the AFC Championship.
I'll take it. I'll take
Hmm.
it.
Chiefs
I, th-
Jets.
I think the Texans going to be in there. I think the Texans definitely going. I really want to see what this new addition with Diggs is going to look like, and Mixon. I think Mixon is going to be the key because Stroud not going to really have to wild out too much because Mixon is very consistent. So we'll see.
I feel like Mixon was slept on in all the preseason
Yo,
rankings and
super
stuff.
slip.
Like he
Yes,
was falling
yes,
far, and I'm like, yo,
yes.
this
And he's
offense
in a
this
high.
is gonna be a top
It's a
5
high power.
offense.
Yes, this is a
Yeah,
high power offense. They gonna get yards any which way that you could think of. They can get,
yeah.
and they. I forgot who's their tight end. Schultz,
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz, yeah.
Dalton
They're
Schultz. Yeah,
stacked. They're stacked. Yeah.
yes. They got.
They're gonna get into the 10-yard line consistently, and they're just gonna punch it in every time with Mixon.
We
It's
hope.
either gonna be it's probably gonna be them and the Chiefs in the
It's
AFC
it's
Championship.
it's the one thing I will say about the Texans is I think no one has even considered that Stroud could take a step back.
Sophomore slump, it's
Mm,
possible, but
I'm
his
not
rookie
I'm
year
not
was
I'm not saying not being good, but
historic.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying no one has even considered that he takes a step back a little bit. It's the same thing with
I mean,
Love.
yeah.
Like they got tape, like it was his rookie year. Like I just
well,
I think it might be tougher.
I definitely love that take because I have not heard anybody say that. So I definitely love that take. The only reason why I'm kind of doubling down on it is because like I've been watching him like he do this podcast with number 11 from the Cowboys. What's his name?
Parsons.
CD? Oh, Parsons.
Well,
Yeah.
he does a podcast with Parsons, and I watched it a couple times. And if you ever get a chance, like in your free time, definitely go check it out. But if you watch him break down tape, like, bro, he really know football, like for real.
Sure.
I'm like
He's definitely the exception to the rule for rookie
But
quarterbacks. There's no doubt.
but
for
Yeah,
sure.
but
But I think besides talent, the knowledge of the game has to partner for you to be one of them type of quarterbacks.
absolutely.
Like
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
I
so
just
I want to see if he,
I think the thing that goes against him though, like I said, more tape on him, right? They're gonna scheme. Like, yeah, they definitely got better. But you also think outside of the 49ers, Jets, Ravens, Browns, those are the best defenses in the league. So it's like that's tough. Like you're not gonna avoid that. Like Buffalo's still gonna be tough. Chiefs are gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about you gotta face 5 of the 6 best defenses in the league, at least 2 of them.
I think a key
he
for
did
the
that last
Texans,
year.
the key for the Texans' success is they're gonna have to get a high seed.
Yeah,
Because
Oh
if
exactly.
they're a
yeah,
Yeah,
oh
wild card and they have to
yeah,
go on the
yeah,
road,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
they're done. But
exactly.
if somehow they get the 1 or 2, I can see them going far.
Exactly, because they got the same thing that the what's it called? Like I said with Jordan Love, like they got the Browns with no Watson, right?
Right.
No Watson, no Chubb. So yeah, I think Browns heat up later in the year too, and they're going to be a tough out. So I don't know. I can't crown the Texans yet, but they're close.
Word.
But cool. I know this game is starting right now, so we're gonna get out of here. Like always, like, comment,
Perfect
and
time.
subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week.